Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team.
Gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Star League I-League Star Series Season 2. We're here in the American Qualifiers, not today, facing off against Team Freedom. Winner is going to move on to the playoffs to face against Digital Chaos. I'm Lyrical Dota, joined today by the illustrious co-caster Motpack. Sir, how are you doing? You excited about game number 2 we got here?
Oh, I'm definitely feeling illustrious now. Okay. This is great, man. You always have like the best stuff. I get to be called sir. I get called illustrious. Sometimes you even like point out the fact that I might know what I'm talking about. Kind of cool, pretty foreign idea to me here. But we got a first pick, Freedom. I believe, did they have the second pick last game, I want to say? Because I don't think they picked Timber first overall.
Yeah, it was the Bounty Hunter that came in, and it was all the same bands so far, so they're going to take it for themselves. Apparently that's the hero key to success.
Yeah, well, despite not doing last game in terms of like the traditional sense, like he got the pressure on the mid lane for sure. Didn't really rack up those kills into that early mechanism or anything like that, which is how we see him. He did a ton of scouting. Really can't that down on him. Solid game coming out there from Jericho. We'll see the same thing out of either Eagle or Jubei, depending on how they want to mix up these roles, depending on what other heroes come out. And how do you want to try and punish this? Do you want like a safe mid laner like the Puck supposedly is? He didn't end up dying 2 times. I think he died like once maybe in the mid lane.
Yeah, it was there was that one rotation in that we found the kill with the Bounty Hunter, baiting out that phase shift that you were talking about, and then follow up with the lasers rocket. So I think it could be okay. I kind of like the idea of going like super aggressive though. That's always my answer to a first pick Bounty Hunter, is if you try and sort of take maybe a nature's prophet at this point with something along the lines of maybe I don't know, maybe a vengeful spirit or something. A Slardar could work. Anything that's going to be able to secure you an early Roshan and then try and take objectives off the back of it, to me that feels really good if Not Today can secure something like that, because Bounty Hunter doesn't offer a lot pre-6.
Yeah, with the Slardar I picked up too, and talking about minus armor and a tanky mid laner, your mind immediately does go to the Death Prophet. I know that Not Today did it recently with Slardar plus Death Prophet, and Team Empire is one team that I've seen taking the Death Prophet like right first phase, still having a ton of success. Team's having a very hard time dealing with it. They just played 5 straight games versus Vega, where in the first 2 games they immediately opened up with the Death Prophet, and despite like it being in that first phase, it's just a hero to deal with, and you can actually try and accelerate that by adding on this armor and everything, seeing that as a viable option. But for now, it'll just be the support. Don't want to give too much away early, at least on the side of Not Today. There's still like the Alchemist, pretty scary things that you might want to throw mid, keep your options open here. Plus they just picked Tinker and an Anti-Mage, right? They don't want to give cores away early. That's ridiculous.
Absolutely, yeah. It was the 4th and 5th pick last time around, which is difficult to deal with. I like this draft a lot already from Not Today, because again, you have the option to go aggressive. You stick Starter in the safe lane there, you have the Disruptor as your either 4 position 5, and then you try and rack up a couple of those, you know, maybe the DP mid, or maybe they go for the Dragon Knight mid or the Viper, something along those lines, and then you all of a sudden can be very aggressive with the Disruptor and finding those glimpses, either A, to try and take people away from towers when there's a key battle that's coming in, or B, as a way to try and, you know, bring somebody back and force the engagement. So I think that Not Today can play it that way, or if they want, this could end up being like a position 3 Slardar, and then you have the Disruptor in the 4-5, and then you try and go for a more team fight oriented build, and either way really works. Team Freedom has a lot of, they need to build well around this Bounty Hunter, and I think that involves wave clear to some extent at least.
Yeah, wave clear, tower pressure, maybe trying to get some aggression of their own where you can get into these earlier fights at an advantage. So Bounty Hunter can actually try and go to work. Right now, I don't know, I'm so loving the Lifestealer lately that he gets banned out in so many games in the second phase, especially against heroes like right? That I wouldn't mind seeing it picked up early, but it could be the case that when you have the bash that goes through the minus armor, they don't want to take it, and I'm actually going to open up with something a little bit riskier, one would consider. Kind of gives away, you know, how that lane's going to be going in what you assume will be the bottom lane, unless they throw something like crazy aggressive from Not Today, and the Spectre has to make some sort of a shift up top. Interesting pick this early on. This was something that we definitely saw in the heyday of the Spectre. Like, even Newbie, I think, are still, at least the last games I was catching from Newbie, they'll still take it relatively early because they know it's going to get banned out the second phase, and they just feel so damn comfortable with this hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm actually pretty concerned at this stage for it really comes down to the first couple of minutes, how well they're capable of dealing with NoT today. Like, if Team Freedom get away with this draft, like last draft seemed greedy to me. The first 2 picks, Bounty Hunter Spectre, seems like even more greed. Like, I guess that's the answer now to win the game, is just be the most greedy you can be. There's the combo of being able to set up kills with the Spectre, with the Bounty Hunter, but I feel like it leaves your lanes very lacking. And if NoT today can exploit that, maybe now you have a strong position to come out of the early game with.
Yeah, the last time they did a really greedy draft, it was the Alchemist that they picked up for that mid lane. Just going full out, like, stay in your lane, farm up some items, and don't really be too concerned about pressuring into that dire side. That could be an option there, maybe in the later stages. We've seen just how good the AA pick is lately. Wanted to deal with that.
Real quickly, what's Mike gonna play?
I know, I'm thinking that too. It has to be Darkseer. I was going through the same things in my head because I don't think Omni Knight's gonna work.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. It seems like it'd be a weird one. It does feel like it needs to be something along the line, but then you're also lacking a bit of the disable. And maybe you could go back for like a lion for either the Jubei or Eagle hero. But right now, NoT today need to pick up another one for themselves. I would really like to see them go for something that is capable of taking objectives, just whatever dynamic that needs to be. Maybe they don't want to reveal that as of yet and take their safe lane carry at this point. But I feel like with the first 2 picks from each of these squads, if NoT today want to get away with this, I don't think they can try and outgreed Team Freedom without going for like something like an Alchemist. And with a Qualifier, I like this pick.
Right away, they're just saying that we're not playing this like mega greed game. We have a Slardar, we have a Queen of Pain. Definitely the Slardar needs to be active early. The Queen of Pain, you could argue, can do a little bit more split pushing and farming on her own, but these 2 paired up with the Disruptor on top, already starting good for their own ideas of getting aggressive, getting into that Radiant side jungle. What can you do from the side of Freedom to try and either withstand this or maybe fight back a little bit and get some black? Like, I was kind of picturing possibly the IO coming out still there if they wanted to go for a +1. It could be something like I was going to say DK IO, but it'll just be the DK first off. And they do have the Disruptor, which makes the IO +1 a little bit scary.
Yeah, that is true.
And Slardar too, actually, is pretty. The IO +1. Maybe that won't be the hero for Jubei.
I mean, he's one of those guys that's well known for it. But it does seem like maybe also with the Bounty Hunter, they'd be.
Yeah, it's actually awful. There's no way they're picking IO. All right, sorry guys, I'm way out there right now.
It's all
I
good.
think Bounty's gonna be so. Just a hint. If you guys want to learn about Dota 2.
If they take it right now, though, I mean, it would definitely catch NoT today off guard. But yeah, the Undying is going to be taken. I really like this response. I can't tell if it's going to be the Slardar safe lane yet, or if maybe they try and go like a dual aggressive off lane with this. Because I think that with the Bounty Hunter, oh my god, and a Lich taken now, I think this is relatively okay, but if they run like dual offlane with Undying Slardar and just run at the Spectre Lich, this is
Omni Knight.
So difficult.
They have to ban off. There's no way. This is like literally the only way you can shoehorn an Omni Knight into your draft. I'm sure. Like going with this kind of like a Lich play, he's gonna like sit down bottom and then still be able to TP decently early on because of the levels that he gets. Now you're gonna have to send a second here if you actually want to pressure that Spectre. Between Lich and Spectre, the Slardar wouldn't be able to do enough on its own. At least that's what I'm seeing here. I'm not too sure. The Undying's a really interesting because you're looking towards this hero. He's been suggested a ton lately. I see it all the time. It's popping up left, right, and center. People are like, "Why isn't anyone picking Undying?" This hero, he's really good against all these tanky strength cores because of decay, right? We all know that's kind of the big thing right now. But when it comes down to, it seems to me at the very least is that he doesn't have any sort of way to like maybe farm up himself. He doesn't have the greatest progression when it comes to overall items. He can't really be that super mega poor 5th, or he can't get too much done. So much of it depends on your tombstone, which if you put it in one bad spot or you can't get it off in time, you feel like a useless hero. I don't know. I want to see him come back with it. We'll see if some make him work. He definitely has that Roshan control that you're looking for, and you just pick him a Tide or something here then.
I wouldn't mind it. Tide did seem good, and they banned out like literally 5 offlaners, which just kind of makes me giggle a little bit. I kind of like the idea of maybe not today going back for an alchemist of their own. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, because then you can start giving away Aghanim Scepters. But maybe that's pushing a little bit too into the late game. We'll see. Team Freedom right now. Tide, what else would there be? Can you take the Omni Knight at this stage? Would that be worth it? Or is it not going to be able to do enough? All right, you're right. You're so on point, Mopax. Look at this guy.
I mean, there's like one option left. There's like literally Darkseer or Tide, and Darkseer just shit. So I appreciate it, but there are definitely some bigger, pretty big drawbacks to the Tide in this game because they do have the Static Storm. It's gonna be able to lay on top. And well, I was kind of like in your idea, going back for being Alchemist or even a Death Prophet mid, sending the Queen of Pain into one of the other side lanes. Yeah, side lane or even the off lane with the Slider if he wants to be position 1, just because those two heroes would have fit pretty well themselves. But Slark, this guy, he is like the hero of this patch. Silver Edge, like mega valuable this game. And a couple of these pretty sick passives between the Spectre, the Dragon Knight, the Tide, reducing their overall damage. Slark game, no mega hard lockdown.
And I'm wondering also, I guess normally when I'd be looking at this draft, I would say that Not Today are on a clock, but I'm not sure if they are completely. I guess they probably are. Spectre is going to be able to get out of control with the Bounty Hunter track gold if they find those kills, and I guess that I always just worry about the late game Slark. He just is so good if you can start getting a couple of those huge items up on him. But I think that probably moving into the mid game, that's like the first couple of early engagements are going to very much sort of tell the tide of how this game goes. But there's always going to be that chance to come back for Team Freedom with, you know, one good Ravage with a Spectre ulti and then a couple of track kills, and suddenly the game might shift out of Not Today's favor.
Yeah, coming out of it, I have to favor them. I like a lot of these heroes they've got right now. The Slider, the Queen of Pain, the Slark, they all seem really powerful. I don't see any big counters coming out. One good Sonic Wave is so good against any armlet carrier too. Like, you think about how important that is for someone like a Dragon Knight, and that's another thing about Undying is that he does like nothing against armlet carriers. You're just going to keep toggling back up. The Tombstone's not enough to bring you down when you do drop low because of the massive armor that you do have. Queen of Pain, Sonic Wave can be the big thing, I think. If you can save that for when DK starts dropping low, it's basically going to act like an AA, right? You're just going to get obliterated with nothing
Look
to
at
do.
Boris, by the way. Do you see this? Do you see Boris in like the showcase mode? Oh no, you're going to miss it. Oh no,
I sort of saw it. He was like, had his arms up in the air.
He was doing like a little like victory pose. He had his sword like thrown up straight in the air. He had his shield out as well. Looked like he was doing the long jump. Look at him. This is such a cool DK set. Sorry, I get so distracted. You're talking about the game.
So, like, look at it though. It is damn shiny.
Oh my god, what is this? It's so good. Dragon Knight's such a cool hero, honestly. I love this guy. Although he's probably... Have you been playing him a lot since the changes? Does the way that they've changed his hero make him any more fun to play than he was previously?
I played him back when they first changed the Dragon Blood. I think it was like 2 patches ago. And I just maxed it and built an armlet. Even before armlet was buffed, it was the most hilarious shit ever because of the HP regen. I just went heart armlet. I just like couldn't die. There's nothing they could do. It was great.
Awesome. That's pretty good stuff. I like this also. You can see that Eagle went out early, placed down 2 sentry wards here, one blocking the safe lane camp, one blocking the hard camp, and then the observer ward way up high to be able to spot out everything else that's going on. And I think that they spotted the disruptor placing his observer ward as well. So a lot of value given early by this bounty hunter. Does he actually have enough right now for Orb of Venom though? It doesn't look like he does. My god, I'm the worst. But looks like an early little battle going to be coming up as everybody's moving in. The Spectre a little bit too far forward. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble. They get the pounce and they're going to be able to find the kill. First blood going the way of Jericho on that disruptor.
Okay, all right. Nice little start there. Supports can't get the bounty rune still, but they can get first blood. They afford up all these lovely new smart items, man. Everything's so damn cheap. I find myself so much gold. Like, when I have to be that position 5 support, I can imagine it's a pretty huge impact for the pro scene as well in terms of like these boots. The wind lace was added too. Some of these other pickups now actually go for can make a pretty big difference in your lane as Jericho actually comes out, catch the range creep, and he's like, oh wait, there's a lit. God damn it, what a hero.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, that will be pushing, and how Cindy might not end up in that bottom lane depending on what sort of like aggression or what they want to try. So I'm gonna send on top with the Lich, but it is into a tri lane.
Well, and the other frustrating thing about this is it means that they're going to be sending the Queen of Pain to the mid lane. She does need to be a little bit careful right here. Only level 1, which means Mike could try and run her down, but not going to be able to do it as of yet. It still should be a really good lane, I feel like, for probably the Quap, but might not be able to find a kill on the Tide. Possibly. He's dropping pretty low. Like, he needs to be careful down here.
He's gonna find it. It probably will be earlier on. Mike, he's got 6 tangos, and he hasn't been using that.
Ooh, he actually ended up leveling up Kraken Shell, though, so this should keep him alive for the moment. Dropping fairly low. He's going to actually end up dying. Maybe Fairy Fire through. Is he going to be able to walk away from that one? Salves up as well, but might need to be able to stay alive. Oh, my God. That was really close.
Yeah, that was crazy close. Yeah, now 5 tangos. And actually burning that salve means he'll be do anything. And while that's happening, man's gonna kill up top. That seems almost inevitable with an Undying and a Disruptor.
Oh my God, Jubei's gonna get ran over. We were talking about the potential for aggression, and man, is it happening. You can see that Freedom all over the map. Mike actually might go down over here again. Possibly? Eagle? No, I'm gonna keep him back.
Yeah, that was close. Having that blink there from King Tekka gonna keep him up. I'm so scared. I'm seeing heroes close to each other all over the map.
I know, this is a problem. Well, mid lane, it's going to be Boris facing off against Leo style. This should be a relatively safe lane for both squads, right?
Yeah, I don't think anything happening. All of it comes down to perhaps Bill being able to pair up. You don't really have the same roaming potential a Disruptor or an Undying. But one misstep from Sinbi, and it's just look at Benas. He's just like, get out of my lane. Get out of here! No right clicks, no last hits for a Spectre. This is the hero you love shot.
Yeah, this is great stuff. And already Spectre 2-1 at this stage in the game. It's been a tough one so far. And honestly, Undying he had to go back home, but every time he's in this lane, you have the potential to kill this hero. And I just don't see a great way for them to be able to get back into it. Constant denies, and I don't know, they need to do something with their laning stage. Get tied a quick 6. Leo style is going to be taking a good amount of damage here, but should be able to survive through it. Has this tango available and also going to be having the bottle brought out. So the regen is there, and it looks like for the moment they're going to be okay.
Well, with the minimal farm that they're getting on this Spectre, so much pressure going to be on the Tidehunter and the Dragonite. Like, once Mike has the levels, probably going to be going that mechanism first. We're going to imagine he just needs to group up with Boris, pop some ultis, and start running down towers using the threat of Ravage to try and keep them at bay. And then if they spot a good fight, it's going to be in. Also, of course, Haunting, like you mentioned during the draft, into C's potential ganks from the bounty hunter. Not going to be worth this time, though, until the bounties are really level 6. A lot of situations.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe if they find something lucky with like a kill on a Quap, but even that's going to be difficult. Like, they'd have to time it out with the Ravage so well, and it doesn't seem like that's really in the cards. Particularly because, honestly, you're not going to be getting those levels on Spectre. Well, level 4, it's not the worst in the world. Speaking of Mike, bottom lane, taking a little bit more harassment here from Tekka. Does have that 1 point up, and it's going to get jumped on for a moment, it looks like. Eagle is in the area. They end up being able to get Scream Pain. Has to blink away, and is going to be able to escape from there as the Tidehunter takes a little bit more damage, but should be able to shake that off.
Yeah, as more and more points into the Kraken Shell start to appear, it's quite a bit harder here for the Queen of Pain to actually get some kills, get him down low enough. He's got the 2 points in the Scream, the one into the Blink. And now, wrapping way behind, is he potentially hoping for a Courier to come out? As well as just the Blink back if Mike can get some... So, I'm now distracting you from that kill top lane, as the Lich is just in there under a ward, so they're able to find him out pretty easy.
This is scary moments. Again, all over the map. Kill potential's everywhere. It looks like they want to go for Kentucky now, though. Have that anchor smash, but no, not going to be able to get it. If Eagle would have come out of that point, he might be able to now. They get the catch and might be able to find the kill. Not level 3 yet on the Bounty Hunter. So still nothing doing, as all of these lanes are just getting very fresh and a little bit scary.
No, Boris isn't Invis Rune mid, but he pops the Radiant Vision, so I'm not expecting that to fall for this one. Style still has the point up for the Shadow Dance, and yeah, he'll take it now.
And he does realize
he's
now
trying to
they've got
bait
eyes
this
on
with
him.
the Disruptor.
Well, there's going to be the jump forward. They catch. Ulti is already out. Eagle taking a lot of damage. They pop the dust as well, and that should be a kill. Leo's down a little bit of trouble. Not going to be able to get it because Boris is out of mana. Up in the top lane, they're chasing after the Spectre, but not going to be able to find it. So they find one kill mid. Very well done there. And it looks like that's going to be the extent of it. Is Tidehunter forced to TP away as well, I think?
Yeah, that's what it looks like here. Even send someone back mid. It'll be Eagle. Refill that bottle. Give us a little bit of a hand here. But good play there by Not Today. Just bringing the disruption. It's like, yo, just chill here. There's an Invis DK pop out. Getting the Bounty Hunter, of course, with the trouble.
Well, mid lane, they're going to be able to find another one. Jericho going down. Jubei is going to fall himself, but Not Today might be able to do this. Boris has already killed one. Leo style trying to get out of here. No more pounce, no more ulti. Oh, 7 seconds. Yeah, he's going down. Very well played there, and they find two.
Huge for Sinbi, getting that on top now. 300 gold. That makes up for so many. You think about that, that's like half last hits.
Yeah.
Pretty happy about that right now. Pops that Spectre because we can see there he's only sitting at 9 right now. Benjaz is just farming up a storm, get his treads, gonna be well on his way to that Blink Dagger or perhaps even the Armlet if you feel like he needs that initiation right away to increase his farm speed. I'd like the Blink only just because of how weak Sinbi is. They can just totally get him out of this lane. There's just no question. He can't show anywhere on the map without being in constant fear. He'll have to have someone roaming around with him.
Well, and you see now as well that like he's forced to blink back home. Lich is going to be able to go for that sacrifice, but I'm looking at the net worths across the graph, and you can see that while Dragon Knight is up on top, there's a pretty clear separation. Like Spectre has to get back into this game somehow, and I feel like it needs to be through the Bounty Hunter finding track kills, but everybody's fairly tanky for Not Today. Like it takes a lot of coordination, I feel like, to kill off almost any of these heroes, with pretty much the exception of this Disruptor. He's probably going to be the squishiest and most likely to go down in a fight. And maybe if they can string together a couple of those kills, like the Bounty Hunter finds him in the jungle or something, that's how you get back into it. But right now, it's Not Today in a little bit of a lead, at least in terms of gold.
Yeah, they might try a Haunt play bottom with like Ravage and everything else about the Queen of Pain, but okay, yeah, that is just Sonic Wave.
Oh my god, Eagle in trouble too. The dust is down. They're going to be able to get the body blocks. No more mana, but it doesn't matter. They drop the Tombstone, going to chase him into the Roche Pit, and now the Glimpse back. Want to party a little bit more. Boris is here as well, but they've also brought in the Spectre. There's into the middle of a Haunt though, and there's going to end up being the damage onto Kenteka. Dropping low, he is going to go down. Spectre kills off the Disruptor. Meanwhile, the Queen of Pain goes down to the Dragon Knight, and XD in a lot of trouble. Does get the decay onto several. Benjaz is here as well. Can he make the turnaround happen? Doesn't look like it. They've lost the Tombstone, and now it looks like Not Today have lost 3. That was not the best.
Now they put down the Tombstone, I think, just to try and hinder them from attempting having the side of freedom with the Haunted and everything, but having the haste rune on top of Boris possibly just not really factored into their calculations when it came to that gank. Bounty Hunter is so deep. Man, they never crushed Mike, but of course, not using his Ravage, they didn't commit to anything. They did use the Haunt, they did use the Dragon form though, so perhaps once those are off cooldown, that's when Mike would feel pressured to make some sort of rotation, and for now he can just keep working on towards that mechanism down bottom, feeling pretty safe, I'd say, with the Sonic Wave being down.
Oh man. The Spectre, though, too, is having a bit of a tough time. Every time you go back to lane here, it's just being punished. And Queen of Pain has ended up moving up top with Mike continuing to take over their bottom. And it looks like they want to try and pressure a bit more. They do have a glimpse back, and now there's going to be a Scream of Pain that comes out. A lot of damage. Kenteka is going to be able to blink away, it looks like. That was going to be the Blade going forward. They find the kill onto the Spectre, but Queen of Pain gets away. Spectre finally does bring down another as the Lich... Excuse me, that was the Lich that ended up going down. Gold split. And it looks like they're going to be able to walk away for the moment. But Queen of Pain going down, as is the Disruptor. I'm not sure if that's worth it.
Well, he ends up losing it. So I guess anything that's putting your mind can't really be considered good.
Yeah.
Picking up the Queen of Pain, though, is going to be handy to try and slow down that Orchid. At least that's what it looks like she's going for. See if that ends up being the case, as Leo Style just tries to zone Boris back a bit here in the mid lane. And wow, let's get aggressive from both sides. Except by the Disruptor as well as Mike. Get active this Ravage.
Oh, and...
We should... I don't know, this is risky.
Glimpse back, into a Static Storm. There's the Crush, and Mike should go down there. Again, another one as he ends up falling. They are bringing in the Spectre right now. Boris is here as well. They pop the Mango. Oh, this is a little bit scary. They don't have Static Storm, but they also could bring in Mike with the Ravage when he's back up. It looks like they're going to have to back off.
Yeah, they just cannot quite find us here. And that is home. A little bit shy level 6 for Eagle, having a rough early game. 1-1 and 4, despite all the assists. Get all that experience, there's too many people there.
Oh, the jump forward. They're going to be able to find one. Kenteka ends up going down, though. The Spectre haunting in just in time. The Lich Chain Frost was enough to bring him down. So a pretty nice little play. They found the kill, but immediately were able to punish him for it. And again, that's not really the best. Like, you look at this, Spectre starting to get some more farm going his way. 442 for that one, and I'm not sure what you build right now if you're Spec. Do you need to go into, like, drums at this point?
I don't know, they still have the Ravage to use, and depending on how that fight goes, that could just catapult you into a totally different item. Mike comes in with it.
Oh, God, they're going to end up thinking about it. Leo Style jumps up to the
it.
high ground. Oh, good decision making there. They do get the kill in the end, only onto the Disruptor, and now they're bringing in the Tombstone, trying to keep it alive for the moment. They've got the K-Stacks, trying to turn this around, and they do escape for the moment with that Queen of Pain. Leo Style needs to get out of there for the moment. They also have Jericho here, going to glimpse back the Dragonite. Ravage gets popped, but the Static Storm is down as well. They don't have the follow-up for it, and now that the K-Stacks are starting to go, can they find this kill? Leo Style solo, the Gush kills off that Undying, and I think that might be just about it. Oh man, that Gush was so key. If Undying lives through there, I think that goes very differently.
Yeah, it looks like that will be Eagle just eating up that Scream. They would know he was there just because the graphic. Yeah, you can definitely see it. If you're the Queen of Pain, it just kind of shoots out, but it is units very annoying. Great
a buyback for
Ravage.
the Disruptor too.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I guess that explains, because Mike, the second he sees the Disruptor in his periphery, he's just like, I gotta press ult, or I'm just gonna get Static Stormed, and this might be a complete and utter disaster for our team. So he pops it, manages to get out, and then snags that kill on the way out with his Gush.
Well, and now we're seeing these items that he picked up. It was a Leo-style Hand of Midas, which was something I wasn't sure if he was going to go for it. He was holding a lot of gold, and I was kind of hoping that it went into like a blink or something. He feels like he needs to carry pretty hard this game, but it also would be great for him to come online right now and find those kills. So I guess it's a little bit of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Yeah, he was actually
top tower.
so close to down that fight too. Mike seemed like he had an opportunity to get the solo kill using the Ravage. Probably would have went down for it though. Man, that bounced up mid. But Armlet Dota.
Oh, it's pretty good stuff. Benjaz jumps in. There's the blink reveal. They have the Chain Frost onto several, though. Unlucky bounces, and they are going to be able to kill off the Disruptor. It looks like they also lost the DK, and Mike, no great way to be able to turn this one back around. Leo Style running away, should be able to escape from that Spectre. No luck in finding him. Jump in. They're going to be able to instead kill off the Spectre themselves. Sonic Wave comes, excuse me, the Scream of Pain comes out, and they find that one. Oh, man, what a play right there.
Yeah, and that's just what we're talking about. If you get that Sonic Wave on top of the DK, it doesn't matter. Your HP regen not going to be good enough for that flat pure damage, and your armor obviously doing nothing. Dropping low from your own armlet. The best skills really in the game besides Ice Blast to try and deal with those kind of heroes. Played there by King Tekka, just making sure he's in the right spot. It's kind of the same way on the Batrider too, always slowing down IX Mike. In this game it's going to be top of Boris. He's still in second in the net worth. Lark has surpassed him by 500 gold now. Gonna try and farm into some bigger items. Potentially even Echo Saber first. Wow, they just get a quick pick that stun. Jeez.
That was nice. And this is one of the ways that you can get back into the game a little bit too, is those track kills, but more particularly the Shuriken Toss, 375 magical damage. It's an actually absurdly high damage nuke when you're able to get it, and can rip right through that Undying, who, while he can be somewhat tanky, is not necessarily the best. He's been pretty limited in terms of the farm he's been able to get here. But meanwhile, Leo Style taking the bottom tier 1 tower, he's still top of the mark in terms of farm. I don't know if they want to come back and defend this tier 1 mid. They actually just dropped the Static Storm. Nobody else is there. They don't have the ability to kill this, and maybe going to try and glimpse him back in. That was a really weird decision.
Yeah, that could be extremely detrimental to the side of Not Today right now, because the Ravage is online. Now he knows from IX Mike, he's like, they did what? They used Static Storm? Okay, well, I think we should probably just walk up to an objective here, guys. It might be enough to open up the Starside jungle, try and slow down the farm with the Sark, maybe even just take down that first tower down the bottom and open up John for yourself on the side of the Radiant. I'd love to see them get active, though. You have a Dragon Knight, you have a Tide Hunter. You know the Stack Storm is down, so it doesn't look like top will be the objective. Back online and ready, but the Silent Benhouse might be able to get some sort of a trade, or at least apply the pressure down bottom. Freedom not going to be there to cancel TPs, go in the fight top, and hope that we'll get some back kills.
Yeah, I would imagine that you just don't even try and fight this at this point. You can see that you've got Kenteka, who's continuing to farm up, trying to build into that first item. I still don't know exactly what it is that she's going to be going for, but meanwhile the Spectre, the sole person here, does have vision on her with the amplified damage up. You gotta be so careful, and Mike instead is going to TP back home, so
this is
leaving the
interesting.
tier 1 alone.
Thinks they're going to dive, but he doesn't have a blink, so no way he can punch like anything but a dive onto the Spectre.
Yeah, and they lose the tier 1. Now going for the play. They're right behind him here. If they ended up going for this, all right, but the vision, yeah, they spot it out here. They observe a ward, and maybe they go back in as they see the Tide and the Lich head mid.
Well, looks like that might be the case here. They have the glimpse, they have the Static Storm.
I'm not going to be falling for it. Backs out again. You do have the currently on the Slark, the Shadow Blade coming out. So opting to go for that instead of Blink. Just hoping to find those pickoffs whenever possible.
Yeah, I feel like the Silver Edge is just too good this game not to get right into this. Scan coming out here. Gonna spot Ice Mike in a smoke.
That was actually the... Oh yeah, it was the dire side. Excuse me.
They will know that everyone else is smoke. I wouldn't be too surprised if King Tekka just blinked into the trees after this wave. He's already starting to inch it.
I'll get out of there, buddy.
Gonna be close.
Needs to run. They are going to be able to find him. There's the initiation, Chain Frost, and everything else comes out, and it's a dead Queen of Pain.
Welp. Maybe not quite certain what they were up to, it seems. But now they're going to go for a smoke as forward. Now this should be unexpected, I would think.
Yeah, Shadow Blade available if they want to go for it. They have the eyes on the Tidehunter, and this is going to be their initiation as Benjaz jumps forward, is going to be able to find Ravage turnaround onto 4. Is this going to be enough, though? They haunt in as well, trying to find a kill. They have the Static Storm down, also did a lot of damage to Mike, and somebody runs into the middle of all of them. They jump forward as well from Boris. They might be able to kill off Benjaz. He does end up going down. Tombstone has already been deployed. They're going to lose XD. Oh, man, that was a very bold play for them, and they're going to be able to find Jericho as well. He's going to go down here. They've got another Breathe Fire. He just ends up falling. Oh, that Ravage by Mike.
Yeah, I mean, that slider coming in, you're like, alright, I'm gonna get stunned into a Static Storm. I need to press R as fast as possible. Like, doesn't do a disruptor. You know, the second that one person stuns you, no way that thing's getting procced off before Static Storm right now. Mike just knowing what was coming, making it worth it. Team rotates right in, and Static Storm just has to be deployed on top of an already ravaged Tidehunter. Cares. Somebody just haunts the outside, throws his max level dagger in, and you get plenty of magical damage just spilling out on top of them all.
Yeah, that definitely felt like there was... I mean, they saw Mike walk up there as soon as that smoke could have broken. If they... Maybe they wanted to make sure that they got the stun off by being able to get vision, but... I don't know, a little bit of a curious play there by NoT today, and it ends up coming back to bite him. And this is not a lineup that you can afford to give away a lot of gold to. Like, already with the Bounty Hunter track, they're going to be getting it back in spades. They're going to go for another smoke now. They really need to find a clean pick with this, but Eagle is going to be the one that they run into. Do they have vision for him right off the bat? There's going to be the dust. They do end up having eyes, amplified damage, and it looks like that's going to be the crush that they need to find the kill. Well played there. And that's a gem, too.
Chain Frost.
Suddenly a lot of damage going back in. Jube's being able to do a ton. Look at the bounces. Oh my god, Benjaz dropping low. They got the track on him as well. Looking for the Sonic Wave. Is it going to be enough to kill off all of them, though? Doesn't look like it as of yet. Mike just going to TP away. Are you kidding me? He has no fear at all. Got the gem as well. Oh no, he didn't. Excuse me. He did not get the gem. Oh man.
Oh, it's in there found. Okay. They're like, where is this supposed gem?
Oh, he did get it. All right. Nice play. Thank God.
Who's holding that?
I think that it was the, was it the Disruptor?
Oh, it was
Disruptor's missing an
Jube's.
item.
Like, okay, it was Jube who actually dropped it. No. The Lich there. But either way,
Okay.
Mike with the saves. Making sure that thing comes back home when the Lich dies.
Some high-level Dota right there, man. Some good stuff.
Yeah, you're very happy with that trade, despite it coming out relatively even. that it was started out with a smoke gank, right? And you immediately are losing people on this high ground. Pretty sure Freedom are A-okay with everything, but the thing is the Slark still up on top. He's got that Echo Save Shadow Blade. Could potentially head just right into the Silver Edge. I don't think you need BKB. Maybe you need BKB just game. Potentially be worth it.
Yeah, and you can't afford to always like Dark Pack that off. Like that's not always going to happen. Looks like this is going to be a jump onto the Spectre. Goes for the TP away. No way to break it, but man, he dropped really low to that. 14 stacks of Essence Shift were already up. And
they were so close to that glimpse as well. Like Jericho was just coming in.
So frustrating. Well, again, you're building into this next big item for Slark, and this is a hero that can take over a game in a way that very few others are capable of. The Haunt. Okay, bottom lane, trying to find the kill. Tekka needs to get out of there. No blink is going to be used, and he does end up going down. He's trying to build into that Ags after picking up the Hand of Midas.
Yeah, I think he just understands how important his role is when it comes to bringing down this Dragon Knight and amplifying that, bringing down the Tidehunter too. Overall, they're lacking that vision. He doesn't have the survivability to just blink in and keep right-clicking and do his thing. He didn't get enough of a snowballing start.
What do you think DK's building into? He's got 3,200 gold.
Just his BK.
Okay.
Just saving up for it.
All right, here's the jump initiation that they might need. Static Storm available. They're not going to be able to pull in that Spectre. They find just Leo style. This is going to be a lot of damage going his way. He ends up dropping at the start of the fight. They got to back up. There's no way they can take that without him. Really, really good understanding there as well. Like, they popped the Ravage solely for that Slark, considering so much gold is on his side, and now going to jump after XC. No Tombstone. They drop the Static Storm, but again, what are you really stopping at this point? They try and glimpse back one. Spectre is not going to be able to chase down Jericho, but the Shuriken comes in for the kill from downtown. 3 dead very rapidly, and Team Freedom are rolling. They're doing exactly what they need to. They want to make sure that they're up in that upper bracket.
Yeah, well, it does, at least for now, look like they're going to be bringing us in game number 3. I agree with everything there, like just going for that really good understanding that, hey, yo, if we kill Slark, that's kind of it. And Tombstone's already been dropped, they don't have any real counterplay, Disruptor can't be close enough, the track vision coming up from Eagle, you can see that they're just like siding through these trees, there's no coordination that was able to be achieved there by the side of NoT today. And like those drums too, for the Spectre, boosting the attack speed, they bring down that Tombstone so damn fast, there's just nothing you can do about it, and allowing just how good this mid game's gone. Go right into the Relic next if you want, so he could just go back for Diffusal Blade too. I wouldn't be hating.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be pretty solid. You know, slows. It's not the best against the Quap, obviously, but particularly like the Slardar, being able to make that work against the sprint. And I don't know. I do like that item pickup. Then again, if you get the Radiance, basically Disruptor's dead at the start of every fight, and they have to have him there for the control that he provides. So we'll see. Certainly a lot of options at this point in time. As we look down bottom, Slardar, meanwhile, has built into an Ogre Club of his own, and we do have that Aghanim Scepter finished on the Queen of Pain. This feels to me like one of those timings where NoT today have to hit this really well, otherwise the rest of this game just becomes almost too difficult for them to deal with.
Yeah, they already missed mark of their itemization, I think, in a lot of ways, where you had this early Blink Dagger up because of how well everything was going for Ben Haas. He didn't feel the need to go for like the damage of an armlet perhaps and build into that sort of a core. Saying like, I have a Queen of Pain, her lane's going great so far, like 5-7 minutes in against that Tidehunter, she was doing fairly well, not dying too often, make some decent farm down there. So he was going for the blink, trying to get aggressive, trying to shut down that Spectre further and further, but the fights just started going so bad, the coordination, the initiation, not really having all their ultimates available at the same time. It's led into this Blink Dagger. Now he can't really go back for damage, he's go survivability. The Queen of Pain's getting like a kind of a hackney damage item, going for the Aghanim Scepter. It is more often that thing that you'll see on that offlane Queen of Pain, because she can't get quite enough farm to head into a Orphan. She didn't have a favorable matchup in totality there, where she just got like unlimited CS or anything. And now you just have a Slark. It's like the sole core that can right-click and do damage. So blowing him up, that's why the fight's just dies. Yeah.
And then maybe you need to play a little bit more carefully at this stage also. They're going to be able to find a kill onto Jericho, possibly? Probably? He's really going to walk away from this? Are you kidding me? No, he's super dead.
No, he's mega dead, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, it is going to be the Silver Edge completed, as you were talking about that as an option. Slark jumps away, but he has the ultimate orb and that recipe on the courier. And that was 800 gold the direction of Team Freedom just from that one disruptor kill. It's so absurd.
Track Dota. Everybody gather around. Let me tell you a story about money. They don't even care about Roche. They're like, yeah, we killed your disruptor and we were kind of close to it, but you started to right-click our, tier 1 mid Leo style, and we're not having any of that. Team Freedom in both games, despite losing the last one, really showing a strong desire to always be defending those towers and not trading them away for anything when it's, like why bother? Like, yeah, maybe they could have gotten Roche there without a contest, but you would have lost your tower, but they can just pressure this and still go back to the Roche right after.
Yeah.
No rush.
And they're feeling comfortable with it. It might even... I would really like to see them take Roche before they push high ground. There's no question about that in my eyes. That, I mean, maybe they can do it, but again, they've got this like net worth lead. They just use Sonic Wave on the Quap as well. They shouldn't be able to contest Roche. Go do it, guys. And it looks like that is going to be the play. Sonic Wave is going to be back up again in 29 seconds, so if they can delay it all, it'd be good. But it looks like instead they're just going to be pushing out this bottom lane and then on into another objective, maybe.
It's kind of unique maelstrom on our DK finished up here at PKB.
Yeah. It's, I guess, another wave pushing item, potentially.
Yeah,
what would be the other thing?
there. More attack speed for the tombstone. The magic damage, like, pretty high armor. Like, it's not going to be building into BKB or anything, so perhaps that's part of the idea, is the Sal takes it the mid. Maelstrom in general just seems to be getting a lot more value.
Well, we haven't seen this Radiance come into play yet, but that mischance certainly going to be an issue for the Slark. And it looks like, at least for now, he's still got that Silver Edge. DD damage is up. They might be able to find this kill if Spectre is not careful. Duo Pawn available, and this looks like it's going to be a quick and easy jump. A lot of damage coming in. The Crush as well. He didn't go for the Haunt. He went for the TP, and they find the kill. Meanwhile, they're going to try and turn this one back around. They do have the Static Storm, but drop down. BKB is out as well. Leo still trying to get away. He does finally fall there to the Ravage combo, and looked like they might have been able to make something happen. Benjez blinks away. So a trade, but I think that favors Not Today-ish. I don't know. I think you need to get away clean with that Spectre kill.
Yeah, it kind of feels like you're just stuck in the same slot, and that's basically what you see through the fight recap. A little bit more experience actually ends up inside of Freedom than it does just because of how that Slark is, but it's not going to be advancing their agenda any further for the side of NoT Today. Like, it's not getting the Slark into a much scarier spot or anything like that. Despite not having the Spectre, there's no real threat. Like, Freedom can still pressure this tower and even still go right into the high ground because there's just going to be a pawn available. You can see that NoT Today are like around the Roche pit, like, I'm sure they're going to come for this, right, guys? Eventually, they need this thing. Totally, right? Actually, Queen of Pain's 25 seconds away from TP as well as the Disruptor. Tower's down. If they pressured right now, definitely have the tier 3 down.
This is a bit of a problem. It doesn't look like they want to try and rush it, though, so obviously Team Freedom not realizing that that's the case. They are going to be able to keep pushing this, and it looks like NoT Today are going to be responding to this, at least in a second, I would assume. Leo style is just up front and center. You got to be careful, mister.
He's just playing so aggressive that it's like, nah, they're all here. There's no way he'd be up here.
Alright, jump in. They're going to try and counter-initiate. Benjaz pretty far forward, and BKB is down already. They have the Tombstone that's out there, but still so much damage coming in. It looks like they're going to try and glimpse back Mike. They've been able to control him for the moment, but look at the damage coming out from Boris. Sonic Wave does manage to kill off that Tidehunter. No Ravage came out. Benjaz is barely going to be taken down, and I don't think that they can really find all that much more. Trying to TP away, that's going to be the fourth step, keeping Boris alive. The final tally is going to be the Slardar and that Disruptor for the Tide. I don't know if that was worth it. Leo Style wants to take a little bit more for himself, but just the movement speed on Team Freedom is so immense. They throw out the track, there's going to be able to purge it off, and I think that they need to get out of here.
Track gold's the hell of a drug. Still end up on top of the net worth despite losing, despite losing, like, in terms of, like, the net worth, like, how much of a hero you're losing here. They, oh, Leo Style. No. Radiance burn.
In trouble. Might be able to turn this one back around. Sonic Wave onto everybody. Can they find the kill? Not going to be able to do it. Need to kill out somebody. They do find that kill. Queen of Pain was able to pick him off. That was the BKB looking for more. Finds the Lich. Now the track. But I think that should be an escape. That was pretty nicely played there, but again, like, I don't know if it's really enough. Like, getting that gold for the Quap, she doesn't really have that next huge item that's going to allow her to take over this game. You really need that gold on the Slark.
Yeah, she has just kind of gone into that BKB, so she's into a really nice spot for her. You wouldn't mind that gold on top of Slark, but if she could get into perhaps an AC, lowering down the armor, both the Spectre as well as the DA, it might be enough to give them some better fighting chances between the Slark and herself, increasing her own right-click damage. Fantastic fight, though. Like, they've opened up maybe a chance for Roche at some point. Like, they can now push out their map some more. It just felt like the choke was starting to become very apparent from Freedom as they were slowly pushing down every lane.
Do you think it's worth it for her to go something like we talked about like an Orchid? Is it ever worth it to go Bloodthorn in this game, or you think that AC is just so much better for how it helps the rest of her team up?
That's a good question. You could, like, if she had the Orchid earlier on, it's a lot, a lot better, of course. And the Manta style, it's not really close. Oh, they get a quick pick. It looks like the slider a little bit too deep there, considering the blinks that have been brought out and shown by Team Freedom, but it was the smoke, so.
Oh, and Jericho. Look at him go down. Like, oh, the mechanism might be able to turn this back around. They throw out the Static Storm. Oh, somebody, what have you done? You've gone too far. It looks like they're going to be able to keep the Disruptor alive even. Mike trying to chase, doesn't quite get into range for that Gush, and oh, man, that was huge right there. They needed that one badly.
Alright, somehow things are still starting to turn around the side of NoT today. I'm not too sure how. They're just barely eking these ones out there as the Disruptor manages to slip himself away, and Mike's like, yo, give me gold.
Did he overextend as well? They've got Slark in the area.
That's
it does get off the damage. It's pretty significant, and is going to continue to build up these Essence Shift stacks. He's got Pounce again in a second. They glimpse him back. Going to try and battle a little bit more. Mike doesn't even get the Ravage off, and now Boris is here as well. Can they bring him down? Oh, XD in a lot of
that's
trouble.
27 stacks.
They're going to be able to stay relatively tanky. God, this Dragonite is so big, though. And Sonic Wave can come out, can't break it, but they are going to be able to maybe jump on Eagle. Oh, Crush is not quite there. It looks like Leo's style is not going to be able to find another one. But, man, 27 stacks. This is what Slark needs.
And have they done it? Have they opened up the Roshan? I mean, you have a slider, so in they go. Not today. I actually can't believe this right now. It looked so good for them, but again, Freedom, they never eclipse more than a 5k lead. And it's not in like total unreal territories, despite all the map control you've been seeing, just because the split push has been very good. Somebody's just walking right on in.
Oh, this is bold. They're all here, though. You got to be careful. Crush comes out and actually able to control a lot of splash damage coming out from Boris. Look at the damage. They're going to be able to bring down one. Aegis has already been popped, though, and XD staying alive. They have a lot of zombies in this area. Might try and go for another. There's going to be the Scream of Pain. Can it be enough, though? It doesn't look like it's quite there. They've already brought down the Spectre once. I think that they're going to need to suffice with just that. Deca trying to blink away. XD still revealed because of that track, and it looks like Slark killing off the Lich on the back line. They're going to be able to start to do this. They find another one. Oh my goodness, they might have been able to do it. They've killed off the Dragonite as well.
And his question is, will Eagle be quite as lucky? Get that gem.
Leo style, they found him. Dust is on him as well. They do have that the Echo Shell, but it's not nearly enough. And now Gem on the ground. Suddenly, an explosion of damage. 4 are dead on Freedom. What has been happening?
I don't know. Is it just the fact that they don't have quite enough lockdown post-Ravage to actually handle Leo style?
I
It just
guess.
seems like I can't grab onto him. Now he's got this BB as well. Now they're going to start finding gems thanks to Slark. Makes it easy already, but the gems are going to make it so they can immediately deward them.
I mean, I don't think that they're quite out of the woods yet, but it's certainly starting to get to that point. Mike here is going to be building into what looks to be an Aghanim Scepter. God, if they have any inkling that he's over here, though. Oof. Yeah, they don't realize it. He's been stuck back here with no TP since that fight, and he's staying in the trees.
Yeah, there is nowhere to go for him right now. Gonna have to wait patiently. Gonna make his blinks now and gets his way in there.
Man, I can't believe that this is the way that this game has gone. Like, they still haven't been able to take any of the tier 2 towers yet for NoT today. And I'm not sure how much like Slark is going to be able to do as this game goes on. He's going to try and pick off Mike here. This might be a little bit overambitious as they already have the ability to jump on him. Tons of damage. They've got the Greaves out, still slowing him down. They go into the Undying ulti, and BKB's been popped for the Slark. He's going to be able to chase down Mike. He's just going to end up going down there. The Ravage does absolutely nothing. And now looking for a little bit more. Can they bring him down? Static Storm is going to be there onto this Dragon Inspector rather, and he's going to drop. 2 are dead, and Not Today are just rolling. They're going to chase after Jubei. He's going to fall down. Chain Frost only bounces a couple of times. Can they kill off Jericho? It is going to be his strong song, and it looks like they're going to be able to take Jubei as well. Benjaz still alive. 4 are dead. Not Today are just rolling on the back of Leo style. 33 Essence Shift stacks.
Yeah, and again, it's just Eagle. Lurking through these fights, it does look like he'll survive, and Jubei did buy another gem, by the way. I'm not sure, where did the one go on the Dire? Or is that... Oh, he actually got back the gem that they had, because I saw Jubei did buy a second one. Oh.
Okay.
Where are these gems at? Here, MIA. Like, where's the second one in the Dire Fountain? Oh, there is. There's one in the Dire Courier. Okay, so this is Jubei's new gem.
I'm looking at this, and it feels... like so ineffectual, the items that are up here. Again, you would love to be able to get this Agnum Scepter on Tidehunter. It's so huge if you can get that item up, but pre-Ags, your hero is basically just, you know, that Blink Ravage, and now he actually ends up moving too far forward. It's going to end up falling again. He used his Ravage previously, and now he just ends up going down. The tier 3 tower is dead, and they're going to lose Elena Brax. There's no response. Buyback status currently 900 gold until he has it. Leo Style pops the BKB, makes sure that he stays alive, and it looks like he's just going to TP away from here. Nothing to stop it. The rest of Not Today escapes. Easy peasy for them.
Yeah, Mike just comes in too close and gets punished heavily. I'm not sure, I don't know, were they smoked or something? Did I miss something? But just kind of playing in the middle, trying to slow down the push, perhaps thinking they saved the racks with that amp introduction. Yeah, it's 60%, but I'm not sure if enough on the attacks there. Certainly wasn't enough to save him. Can't even imagine the items must be coming here for the side of the Dire. They were so poor, but we got the Shiva's Guide on the Queen of Pain. Got that Silver Edge finished up as well as just, I mean, he said that for a while, but 5,100 gold is the big story on the Slayer.
Oh my god.
Can make some choices here. Force Staff, Glimmer, Mech on the Undying. Oh my god, he's at all. Benaz. Be done at 1,500 gold as well.
They've got Glimmer on the Disruptor now, so... Well, just the shadow... Oh yeah, it's the completed Glimmer cape. It looks like he's probably going to be bringing out the Scotty to himself, as he already has that Orb of Venom on his person and the 2 Ultimate Orbs, so does not have buyback. A very interesting point. Team Freedom can push rather quickly if they're able to get into that tower, the tier 3 that's, you know, all of them exposed at this point, but... I don't know, it's going to be tough to kill this Slark here. They need to put everything into it.
You need buyback if you're unkillable. Not sure. It is not going to be easy. They need the... Alright, well, this DD room, that's like... Potentially they could take some sort of fight here. They're not grouped up well enough for it, though, but it's going to have to be Ravage into the stun with basically no one else there. Dark Pack getting off, no BKB getting off. A lot in the conditions here. Some closing conditions, as it were, here for the side of the Radiant if they want to try and game back into their control, as it's now a plus 7,500 gold lead. 12k experience for the Dire. That's what happens when you start winning these later game fights.
It's a huge problem, and again, you talked about it, the hero of the patch in a lot of ways. Slark and his capability to find those pickoffs and start the engagements on his term. It's been these couple of fights where it's been him jumping onto Mike, that Tidehunter, and he just hasn't had a great response to it. So I don't know. I'm not sure how you deal with it at this point, particularly BKB, because you can go for like the breaking of the Silver Edge, then into Dark Pack, which means that you're going to have the 2.5 second delay, and then you finally take off the stun, and then on top of that 8 seconds of the BKB where you can just hit the Tidehunter. Like, I don't know how you deal with that with a glimpse in there as well.
Yeah, it's not even just the fact that he's forcing Mike like to the sides of the fight, forcing Mike back, forcing out the Ravage potentially early on, and generally not even going to be by through that BKB and everything. It's the fact that he's a Slark. Like, one of the other reasons he's there this patch is that these tanky cores like the Spectre and like the Tidehunter that don't have any stuns, that he just latches on top of. And yeah, they've got the mischance going on, but he's just stealing Essence Shift after Essence Shift. He's like shaving off Ix Mike's mustache, slapping on top of himself. He's absorbing all his power as he brings him down. And Leo style he becomes insane. Like, it's like both fights he had over 30 Essence Shift stacks.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's always starting with, I mean, the normal mantra is don't start with the tanky heroes, but that seems to be their sort of way into this game and the way to win it. And now they don't quite catch Mike, who's over here. They are going to be able to run into him. A little bit of an awkward situation. See you later, man. I'm going to just wave to you goodbye, and a tier 2 tower should fall soon. Yeah, it's a very difficult proposition. The other thing now, Queen of Pain refresher. So Ag's refresher, that is 1,110 pure damage. Like,
where's
what?
my Aether lens at right now? It's got the 130 intelligence too.
Oh geez. So what does that end up being in terms of like the damage amplification? It's spell damage 8.8%. So you get another about 88 damage on top of that pure. That probably, it's actually 160 pure on top of that.
Yeah, exactly.
176. So this is going to one-shot the Lich if they can get the dual ultis off.
King Tech has just been so on point with these Sonic Waves too, just always making sure he's eliminating one of those more... Oh, King Tech just blinks on top of a gem in the jungle. It's like, oh, cool.
I think that he dropped...
That's been off that courier, was it?
I thought he had one in his stash. I think that he dropped it for some reason.
He probably ditched his...
But then he picked it back up. That was weird.
Either way, he'll have that. And, yeah. And just keep throwing these out. He's just been so on point. Like, always eliminating the Dragon Knight, always eliminating the Spectre. So, we might have swayed over back into the favor of Not Today. I'm not too sure. Perhaps. So, what do you do on the side of Team Freedom to try and get this one back? Talk about the 5-man Ravage.
I think one of the things is Eagle... it's so tough because normally it would be find set up a kill with the bounty hunter, but you can't do that because of those gems that are online now with the Queen of Pain. So I guess just win a team fight, but to do that you need to hit a huge Ravage. So it's just a really tough game for Freedom at this point. I think that's really what it comes down to is Mike being able to hit a Ravage, but then also setting up like good teamwork where they're in a position where when he hits a good Ravage it matters. They can't let the Slark initiate on them again. That's the biggest issue that they've had over and over again in these engagements is Slark finding the way to get into them. Yeah,
maybe they can go for some sort of a like the Roshan could be the place where they could fight, where it's not necessarily your high ground. You have a good shot, nice closed area where that Ravage as well as numerous actions.
Oh my god. Boris, though, he's going to get jumped on. They do have Ravage available, but guess what? They're not going to really be able to do a whole lot off the back of it. Mike going to try and TP away. They glimpse him back, and he is going to end up going down. They broke the TP with it. He's going to end up being pulled back again. Oh no, this is all going downhill. This is not the way it needed to happen. And the whole time through, Spectre can only keep on farming. As soon as that Dragon Knight was dead, there was no way. Oh, and that was, I think, the other gem. So now they don't have a gem either. And Mike bought out. He doesn't have buyback. This could just be it. I think that Not Today might have broken him. Oh.
It's certainly starting to look that way. I mean, they still have everything up. They still have double Sonic Wave. Like, they barely expended anything for that.
Well, again, this is going to be the haunt of all haunts, as unfortunately right now they just have the Radiance Manta drums on the Spectre. Tier 3 tower is falling in the bottom lane. No great response. They got to get something here at least, and I can't really see what Team Freedom does to take this fight. Like, they've got Chain Frost, and there's the stun forward. Gonna try and go for the haunt. A lot of damage on the Leo style, but there's gonna be the Sonic Wave. Is it enough? It doesn't quite look like it. The secondary Sonic Wave comes out. Boris is gonna fall. They buy back on the Lich, but are they really gonna be able to do anything there at all? The Dragon Knight is dead for 90 seconds. Mike is back up. They could have fought when he was there potentially, but the Chain Frost's gonna start to bounce around. Maybe enough damage coming through. The Ravage counter initiation that they got the BKB off. It looks like they're gonna be able to survive. The Tombstone's down as well. Leo style looking for more, bringing down somebody. He's gonna end up falling, and they buy back on the Spectre, trying desperately to hang on, but it's not nearly enough. Mike is going to go down again. No great responses as Jubei just tries to throw out a Frost Blast, seeing if they can kill off Kentek, and the Manta style has been popped, but there's the blink away. Didn't have a Diffusal Blade to drain away the mana, and Eagle now is going to fall. Oh, 3 are dead. Another one, another buyback, and Not Today has only lost the Disruptor. They should be able to escape from this one. My goodness.
Yeah, you had to know that Rax was going down just by the heroes that had already been on the side of the Radiant, right? So 3 buybacks. Oh yeah, they're all still living. But... Oh,
Slark just 3-shot him. GG gets called. What a way to end it. Leo style, the rest of Not Today, the Queen of Pain, just all of them playing it in a huge way, and they end up taking the win. Not today.
Yeah, it seemed like they had kind of missed that earlier. It looked like they kind of missed that timing where they had like the blink and then just trying to get into that Aghanim Scepter for the Queen of Pain to try and up her damage and give them something, and it was all on the back of Leo style. Not only through him, but maybe some misplay